time for Elon Musk to leave Doge. Y'all ready? Let's go. Let's go. One more time. And on the wake up. Oh, yes, let's open up those pores. Let's open them up. Yes, I feel it. That's right. And I'm a classic man. You can be million if you look this clean. I'm a classic man. Calling up being like a young OG. I'm a classic man. How everybody doing out there this morning? Let me get this camera straight so I can get us ready and up on point, y'all. Wait a minute. There we go. Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC, and like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Y'all know what today is, right? Friday the 25th. That's right, y'all. It's 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line. Where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that. Where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me pissed. Wake up, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's time for our bottom line. How's everybody doing out there this morning? VIP auction group, glad to see that you got the glove and you gloved up. Thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member. You know you definitely got your place, and I definitely got to put on for you. Hi there and good morning. I know I see you. Thank God it's Friday. Rebecca, good morning from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And of course, the legendary no other that's been here since day one, Batty Lynn. And we definitely can't forget Detroit is in the house. That's my second city, just so y'all know. I went and checked the calendars and checked all the algorithms and the territories. Y'all be repping for Bugatti out there when it comes down to our bottom line. I guess because I make sure I get y'all that information of what's going on in D-Town. It's not me. It's the fact that y'all always got something going on, Batty. It's easy to find stuff when you got stuff going on. But I don't want to go down sideline. I don't want to get sidetracked because we've got a lot of follow-ups. We got new information. We got a new great title that many people are going to be sad to hear about, but many are actually going to be, understanding and saying, you know what, it's about that time. So you know what, instead of me wasting time, taking too long to get into it, let me do what I got to do and let me get into these titles, because the thumbnail today is very important. And also, you guys got to remember, when I show you this, I also need to know, again, from everybody new, where you're chiming in from, because we like to get content from everybody so that we can have a great conversation when we play the clips. Now let's get into these thumbnails from the top. As you can see, Trump is pointing at Elon, basically with the Doge symbol here at the top. And what does it say in our first thumbnail title? It says, Trump says, sadly, it is time for Elon Musk to leave Doge. As you know, this was not going to be a permanent position. Elon Musk owns Tesla. He's got SpaceX. He's got so many other things going on. And I also understand that the stocks were going down because he had too much to do with a campaign and a political situation. And a lot of the shareholders said, you know what? Time to come on back home, buddy. Time to ride your own, time to drive your own ship. And we're going to keep on moving forward. We've got our second subcategory today is going to be the Russian army hits Kyiv with airstrikes amongst USA peace deal talks. Yes, they've sent over at least about 100 drones and many other missiles, 70 that were aimed at Kyiv. This is the reason why it's been really hard for them to negotiate when it comes to Vladimir Putin and Zelensky. And with us in the middle, doesn't really seem to be going so well. But we still have one more title in the clip, last but not least. It's going to be the Justice Department is bringing terrorist charges against Tren de la Agua gang leader. So now Tren de la Agua, the gang, the illegal gang that's come over here illegally through the borders and is doing all sorts of crimes and all sorts of things that are illegal. They've now been designated as a terrorist organization, and because of that, their gang members and their associates can be sent to court under those crimes. And what I want to do right now is get right into these titles, because I want to do some direct video on what we got breaking news today with President Trump sitting in the Oval Office about to talk with the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas. But he had a lot to say about tariffs, and every time I can find a little bit of nuggets of information for us, you always know I'm gonna go look for it, guys. So here it is. Let's get into it. I want you guys to see it. It's breaking news, and just happened a few hours ago. So here we go. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It's the weekend. Let's go. Let's get it.
And we're going to be
let's get it.
Having a meeting in the Oval Office in a little while, where you'll be invited back and you can ask some questions. It's also a pleasure to have my friend who did such a good job at NATO, my great friend, right? So you really did. We started off, they had no money, and they ended up having a lot of money after we said, you got to pay up. But you did a fantastic job, and thank you very much. And I'm glad you're here. Glad we meet each other again under these circumstances. So we'll be meeting in a little while at the Oval Office, and if you have maybe one or two questions, we'll do it now, and after that we'll go to the Oval.
Mr. President, on Russia, do you still believe that Putin is serious about peace, given the events overnight in Ukraine? And if that bombing doesn't end, are you considering new sanctions on Russia?
So we are thinking that very strongly that they both want peace, but they have to get to the table. We're waiting a long time. They have to get them to the table, and I think we're going to get peace. We want to save 5,000 young people. I used to say 2,500. I now say 5,000. We have, Mr. Prime Minister, we have about 5,000 young people a week that are dying in that ridiculous war. And, I started out because I didn't like all the money that we were paying, and then I realized how many people were dying. And that's by far the more important element right now. I'm saying we can save thousands of people. And I don't like that it takes long at all, but I think they both want to make peace. I do believe so. There's a lot of hatred there. There's a lot of very bad blood, a lot of distrust. But I hope we're going to get there for the sake of a lot of young people that are dying.
Mr. President, do you have a deadline for when the party...
I have my own deadline. And we want it to be fast, and the Prime Minister is helping us. He wants it to be fast, too. And I think everybody in this, at this time in NATO, they want to see this thing happen. So we have a deadline, and after that, we're going to have a very much different attitude. But I think that has a very good chance of getting done.
Mr.
President, what can Norway do to prove that they're an important ally to the U.S.? What can Norway do?
Just keep doing what they're doing. We have a very good relationship with Norway.
And that was actually enough for me. I'm glad it clipped off right there, because we got something else to get into. Yes, I want everybody new to understand that we don't always stay on one type of topic. We bounce around in our show. Sometimes we want to talk about one thing. We might bounce and talk about illegal immigration. Why? Because we just feel like doing that, and we want to keep the show going. So that's what we're going to do right now, because I want you guys to see, oh my God, at this point, shouldn't you know better than to hang out at the Home Depot? Well, some day laborers were detained by ICE in Pomona at a Home Depot. Want to keep it going, you guys, because we always talk about arrests, always talk about deportations, and this is where we always, most of the time, talk about these type of topics anyway. I want you guys to see this right here. Check this out.
Into custody during a federal raid at a Home Depot in Pomona. Witnesses say Border Patrol agents, both in marked and unmarked vehicles, showed up at the home improvement store and took 15 to 20 day laborers into custody.
Right now, it's unclear where the men are being held or why they were arrested. Carlos Saucedo live in Pomona with more on the raid and the fallout tonight. Carlos.
Micah Share, we're talking about more than a dozen people taken by federal agents. Now, these day laborers were out here in Pomona this morning, essentially looking for work. Tonight, there is growing fears that these raids could continue to target day laborers.
They should know better,
En
no?
Pomona, la migra aquí en Pomona, agarrando el día de ahora, haciendo redadas en Pomona, California.
Video showing what appears to be Border Patrol vehicles and others unmarked entering this Home Depot in Pomona Tuesday morning. Day laborers said to have been rounded up and taken to an undisclosed location. Immigrant rights advocates quickly responding.
Out of Pomona, Border Patrol!
A man by the name of Carlos recalling the terrifying moments.
Somos gente, somos humanos. Venimos a ganar el pan de nuestros hijos, nuestro sustento.
His interpreter.
I arrived here, and when I started seeing the scene, I started crying. The tears started leaving. We're here. We're human beings. We're only here to support ourselves and to maintain our families.
Okay, as you can see, they're cracking down in the Home Depot, number one. Number two, they're coming quietly. Why are they doing this very quietly? Because of those people with those microphones and the people that are basically out there with the bullhorns, letting people know before ICE gets there. So now, as you guys can see, they're moving more stealth, in a more stealth manner. So I think that's a little smarter and a smarter way for them to do what they got to do. I'm all for it. Hey, we got too many people here. Call me what you want. I'm all for this. I'm sorry that it happened, and I hope if these people, some of them were legally here, they'll be able to stay. But the illegals, I don't know what's going to happen to them. I'm just going to leave it like that. Let's keep on going.
Activists say agents took about 15 to 20 day laborers during the morning roundup.
It is not a crime to look for work. It is not a crime to be a day laborer. And so we are asking what information Border Patrol had when it made these arrests.
Then there's this chilling scene on Hope Avenue, also in Pomona. Surveillance video showing Miguel Mahin's dad ambushed by armed agents as he was heading to his barber shop.
He was blocked both ways. They get him, at gunpoint. He surrenders. But I think it's unnecessary to use guns at this point. I mean, my dad's not a criminal.
Miguel says his dad had previously been deported in the early 2000s, but calls this type of action inhumane.
We have not heard from him. We called Border Patrol. We called many numbers, and they have no information. I get that they're deporting criminals, but my dad is not a criminal.
It's not that they're deporting criminals. They're deporting anybody here that's illegally, because under the law, being here illegally is a criminal act. And it's not me that's saying this, y'all, so don't kill the messenger. It's the law. Come into the comments because I want to know what you got to say. Good morning, everybody. Batty Lynn, I see you again. Who have we got over here? We got Betty Spaghetti says sucks. Oh, I'm sorry. What we got here? We got Stormy says law and order is back. Trump winning. Trump winning is a big win for all law-abiding citizens. Energy Guidance says it doesn't matter if your father was not a criminal. He's not in this country legally. Well, technically makes him a criminal. Ad Victorium, good morning, Ad Victorium. What's poppin'? Yeah, but when you pop in, I always know what's up. Stormy says facts. Jeffrey Spilker says, you are 100% correct. What else we got here in these comments? I'm reading y'all comments. Go ahead, say what y'all got to say. I'm here. This is what we do over here. Energy, what else we got? We got Casey. What's popping? Casey Ramos, good morning. No, but it's a crime to come to the U.S. illegally. Big says, Big Joe 700 Nitro, don't care what they do with illegals. Okay. What you got, Kendra? Good morning, Kendra. What's up, girl? She's saying what's up to Pig Daddy. Betty Spaghetti says the tears are too little, too late. Ooh, Betty. Pig Daddy says they working on going back to their countries of origin. Yeah, y'all not playing this morning. We're going to keep it going because we got some more. Because not only are they going back to their country of origin, now we're going to show you some where the Trump administration indicts these migrant gang members, and now they're getting charged with terrorism. Check this out. Because of the fact that now they're being looked at as terrorists, they're now being charged as a terrorist organization. I want you guys to check this out. As these guys got indicted.
This story first on Fox. The DOJ has indicted an alleged high-ranking Tren de Aragua member on terrorism charges. The first time the government is prosecuting.
I always play this video back, and I always have the same comments to talk about. I've had situations with the police in the past. I know there's a lot of people that don't like the cops, all right? All you guys can come to the front and gloat about the cop getting kicked in the head by all of these guys if you want to, right? But the whole fact of the matter is this is called non-law and order. There's no law and order in this right here. Guy kicking a cop while you're trying to arrest somebody, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is like in the Times Square area. All of these guys are like underage. I told you about this same group of guys that's always next to like Madison Square Garden. You're always gonna find them over there. Call me a hater and a snitch, I don't care. Anyway, they're kicking a cop in the head, beating them down. But guess what? If this was in El Salvador, Venezuela, Cuba, shit, Jamaica, any one of them countries, the gun would have been this long that the cop would have been walking around with, and I guarantee you, none of them would have put their hands on him. So that's the difference between being soft in New York and they say, hey, we do something there, they're gonna take us to the jail and they're gonna take us out. We don't have to stay. So fuck it, we do what we do. Criminal, we make a lot of money, send it back to our country, and take advantage of these people. And that's what they're doing, straight up and down.
Using that against any member of the violent gang. Texas congressional candidate Mayra Flores joins me now. And this is pretty big, Mayra. How vital is this terrorist designation to making sure we can put away these gang leaders for life?
It's a huge win for America, and it's exactly what we voted for. We voted for a safer country, and this administration is doing exactly that. They're cleaning the mess that the Biden administration did in 4 years. They allowed millions of people to cross illegally into our country, including gang members and terrorists. And to see Democrats travel to El Salvador and fight to bring back MS-13 gang members, it's something that I didn't see coming. They definitely don't want to win the midterms in 2026, so they can keep on doing these type of stupidities. But we are not going to allow the Democrats to destroy this country and to bring back MS-13 and terrorists into our country. So I'm very happy to see that the Trump administration is doing what they promised to make America safe again.
It's not, I don't even think it's about the security anymore. It's about whatever they say, we're going to do the opposite because politics. Hey, you guys want to give babies, vitamins and fruits and good vegetables? Nah, we don't want to do that. Keep that red 3, whatever like that, whatever dye we got going on. Why not? Oh, we just don't like them. The whatever they say, we're going to do the opposite. Like I told you, again, I'm going to just get this clear because a lot of y'all get me mistaken. I'm a common sense person. I'm not a Republican. Don't get mad at me. Not a Democrat. Don't hate me. Not an independent. Don't do what you don't beat me up. I'm a human being. That's why we created this platform so that we all can come to one place and basically say what we have to say. Because some of us are just human beings. How about that? That wish we can all have one party, that we all, hey, you don't like that kind of music? Hey, let's play your music for a little while, you know? Let's play your music for a little while. Why we can't just do that? But no, if I don't like you, you don't like me. Oh no, so we gotta go all out at each other. How about that? I wanna see what you guys gotta say about this in the comments. Let's go. Where we at? Eddie says, nah, you got to choose a movement if you want to change. Okay, what do we got? Jeffrey says, with common sense. There you go. VIP auction group says, I'm all for legal immigration. We need to know who lives in the USA. Yeah, common sense. What's up? Batty got that glove up. You already know I'm more of a liberal. A libertarian says, he says, LOL. That was Betty. Okay, Betty, but you still got, still got love over here. Eddie says, Charlie Slow. Okay, what we got? Do not take seriously. No due process is un-American, no matter who it is. Yeah, but when it's 3,000 or 40,000 people you got to take to court, that's like an overplay. There's so much evidence, says Eddie. What else we got here? We got WWZ podcast says, how shitty did it feel finding out you were supporting a human trafficker and a judge dropped the case to return him now? That was a banger. Mic drop. Okay, Frank Vrooman, good morning, Frank Vrooman, good morning. Okay, he said, all right, Eddie, we got it. Okay, Charlie says, show the proof that he's a gang member. Okay, I see you got your message out, right, Charlie? Betty Spaghetti says, stop spamming chat, please. Oh, because all y'all got to do is let me know who it is, and bang, they out of here. Let me get one more. Eddie says, Americans are people with a shared history, not economic zone. Stop the replacement. We're going to keep on going, you guys. I want to see the rest of this, and I know you guys do too.
It certainly is an odd strategy by the Democrats. But back to the Trump administration, it's a little surprising to me that no administration has used terrorism charges against these gang members in the past. Are you optimistic that Tren de Aragua will be dismantled during the 4 years of the Trump administration because of moves like this?
Absolutely. And that's what needed to be done. That's exactly what they are, terrorists. They terrorize the people in South America. They terrorize the people in Latin America. They terrorized Americans as well. That's what they are, terrorists. And I hope that soon we will see also the cartels in Mexico be also assigned as terrorists, because that's exactly what they are. We need to remove them, not just from our country, but we need to remove them from this planet. They need to be eradicated. They have the people just here, southern border, terrorized, and they have a huge impact here in South Texas as well. So it's important that we also eradicate the Mexican cartel as well.
Meantime,
but what about the people that's supporting them? Because I think Phil Murphy needs to be a little nervous, because I think, allegedly Phil Murphy, the governor of New Jersey, said that he was going to be supporting illegal immigrants. He even took it even further to say that he would have a place in his home where he would hide them at. I think he might want to look at this next video before he does something like that. You guys like this next video? I'm going to ask you to double tap that screen so we can get those likes up. That makes more people come over here. I really would appreciate that. But I want you guys to see what this other governor did. And him and his wife got them silver bracelets. And now they taking a ride, looking stupid for trying to hide illegal immigrants in their crib. Check this out, y'all. Yeah, we on point today. Let's go. Tren de Aragua gang members at that. Y'all ready? Hold on, because I remember I got to do some reading on this one. I have no problem reading, because reading is fundamental. But I just want you guys to see these images first. This is the judge. That is his wife. And this is what's going down. Let's go. Okay, let's read. So that's the judge's wife who's being arrested for having Tren de Aragua members staying at the crib, at their house. That's the judge right there. So that's her husband, the judge, right? So now they're in cuffs. Good shot right of his face. There we go. So these two were keeping Tren de Aragua gang members in their house. Let's go. A former New Mexico judge and his wife have been.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna
through Eagle Pass, Texas. So I think that's going to be enough for me, because that's basically telling me I got to look at this two ways too. It could be where they just hired this guy and he was really good at his work, and they didn't know that he was part of TDA. That could be one point. The second thing could be they knew he was part and didn't care. We don't know. We're going to follow up on the story and keep on going. I want to know what you guys got to think about this. What we got here, Eddie Holder says he's in the country illegally. Don't even care about the rest, right, Eddie? Dave says, Betty, you support a guy making it harder on kids. Maybe you don't have a husband. Eddie says, all the evidence we need. Waiting for evidence. Yeah, let's wait for some evidence. But the other thing is this. Check this out. He is in the country illegally. And you know what that means, right? That means from what's already been saying by who? Tom Homan, who's coming up next. He already said it. Public safety threats and illegal immigrants who are here, they're already criminals. So check this out. He's going to answer a few questions that we've been asking in the comments, and we're going to let Tom Homan get a little bit of this right here, because I don't work for Homeland Security. He does. So he'll be better at answering a lot of y'all questions and talking about this better than me. So let's go. Let's see what Uncle Tom, not my uncle, got to say.
You have images that's right, 8 questions, but bottom line is the college students, their visas are being suspended because the State Department believes in national security threats.
Sir, not all.
And it's not about what they say, it's about what they say and what they do. First Amendment rights, I can't stay in a movie theater at night and claim fire.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to skip to this right here because it's a little border that's going to happen here that I forgot to add. So now, the visas for certain college students also have been revoked. So many people are complaining about my degree, what's going to happen. And that's really smart questions to be asked right now, right? And he's answering those questions, but of course he's going to answer more questions about other things that we have questions about. So I just want him to say what he's got to say, but I did not let you guys know what he was speaking about going into the top of his conversation, which were the visas that were being taken away from certain college students that came over here and received visas because of they were going to school. We had questions before about what was his name, the college student in Columbia University, Mahmoud Abu Khalid or something like that, where we were asking questions about what are the parameters and the guidelines and legalities for a person that has a visa versus a American citizen, a natural born citizen. If you have a visa, can you demonstrate? Is there certain things that you can do? We had those questions before. That's why I got to get this topic out and blend it with the other one. So now this is the answer right now to the question that I had. What are the laws for someone that has a visa? Can they do the same sort of, political community fight back? Can they be activists? What can they do? What is the limit? And he answered that. So thank you guys for letting me get a chance to clear that up, and we're going to move forward and go right into that.
How do you square the two? I mean, you have images
That's right, 8 questions, but bottom line is the college students, their visas are being suspended because the State Department believes in national security threats.
Sir, not all.
And it's not about what they say, it's about what they say and what they do. First Amendment rights, I can't stay in a movie theater at night and claim fire. There's a limit. When you come to this country on a visa or become a resident alien, that's a privilege that comes with certain responsibilities. Yeah, now, I'm not with the State Department. I didn't make the decision to cancel those visas, but our job is when we cancel those visas, they're removed from the country. Right. As far as the others you talk about, we are forced in the community because of sanctuary cities. There's New York City, I'll say it again, New York City, you're a sanctuary city, you're a sanctuary for criminals because we can't arrest a bad guy in Rikers Island, for God's sakes. We got to go in the neighborhood and find him. I said from day one, ICE is going to enforce the law, unlike the lax administration who says, ICE can't arrest an illegal alien for simply being here illegally. They're rewriting federal law. No, ICE agents took an oath to enforce immigration laws, and we go find the bad guy, and they will. If he's with others, they're coming too. Prioritization doesn't mean maybe I prioritize my family life over my work life. I don't forget my work life. We're prioritizing public safety threats and national security. That's what we're doing. The data proves it.
But the students who are just getting traffic summonses, you think they're national security threats?
The Friends and Family sale is on now at Raymore and Flanagan. Get up to 20% off your purchase.
Enforcing these commercials, y'all. Right. Enforcing them.
I'm not involved in those investigations, but I can tell you we're going to force immigration.
What I'm getting is, don't you think that those...
Prioritization doesn't mean forget about everybody else in the country illegally. It's not okay to be in this country illegally.
So that's the first crime to everybody that's talking about due process, okay? The first crime is being here illegally. Then the next thing you do is just another layer on top. I understand everybody's talking about due process, but the other side of that, how you going to take 400,000 people to court? It's not even enough time to do that, and we don't have the monetary to do it. So they're doing it this way, and a lot of people don't like that. That's the part right there where people are clashing at right now.
It's not okay to enter this country.
They're not here illegally, right? They're here on student visas, but
Well, we can talk case by case, but every case is different. I can't put them all in one bucket. I don't know the details of every investigation. ICE and Border Patrol arrest thousands of people a day. I'm not familiar with every investigation.
But do you think that it all hurts this agency that is doing this kind of work to have with images, wearing masks, stopping college students, taking them wherever? Do you think that
I think the American people elected Donald Trump to enforce immigration laws is exactly what we're doing. We're doing what the American people voted for.
All right, let's get to those comments. He answered enough questions for us. He was just talking about the college students. We know where we're at with that. Now it's time to move to another segment because we got to talk about Russia. We got to talk about Ukraine because that's really what I think has damaged that Bitcoin situation as far as the crypto. My crypto was down ever since that war started. I don't know about you guys, but crypto market, woo, as soon as that war started, it was a wrap. But I want to know what you guys have to say about this. Dave says, wasn't Trump supposed to end the war in 24 hours? Didn't happen. Okay, Dave, do not take seriously, says you won't though, because you can't and you keep spewing your BS. I don't know what you're talking about. So why you here though? Caravans. Yes, the caravans. Mad Hatter says, I'm from El Salvador. It took my mother and myself about 10 years to become, he's about to say citizens. Wildflower says pig. Do not take seriously, says spaghetti. Show it then. What else you got here? We got Eddie Hoffman that says visas are a privilege. The executive decides who gets them. The election decides who we entrust to determine. Oh, okay, so basically it's up to them to say who can have it or who can't. Every case is different. That's why due process is important, says Dominic. I got you. Clint says they came in caravans. They can leave in caravans. Remember those caravans that nobody wants to talk about? When they were just walking like this? I keep on bringing this up because all you saw was the cameras and it felt like the news was making a joke about it. There's a caravan coming in over the border, y'all. Looked like it's about 300,000 people. And the news was just like, they was happy about it, right? Not doing nothing. I'm over here like this. Like, what the? Because I do that kind of work. That's what we do in our business, man. And if you got people coming over here undercutting you because you got people that want to take your business, oh yeah, you think they won't? Hey, papi, why are you paying La Moreno? You pay me cheapy. I take less. Yes, it's happening to me directly at my business. So I don't want to hear what none of you guys have to say. I don't care about it. It happens directly every day where my business is at. My company is affected. You think I don't worry about people that work with us and my business and my family and that people that work on my team? We have to still eat and still do what we have to do. But if we got illegals coming over here undercutting us, what the hell, how are we going to survive? So all of y'all with all of that, due process and stuff like that, if you came over here illegally in a caravan with your middle finger up like this at the cameras, with all of these people talking about we're going to take all y'all resources, we're going to take all y'all money, and y'all can't do nothing about it. That shit had me mad as hell. I don't know about y'all, pissed off. Yeah, for real, because I deal with it. So whoever don't like it, meet me at the airport, get my bags. I might be there. Next up, I'm going to show you some information on Russia because they said that they wanted to end this war with Ukraine, but that's really hard to believe because what's going on right now, what I told you about these 100 drones and 70 missiles, and the only people that got hurt were who? Civilians and children. So that's another reason why I know I'm not Ukrainian or Russian, but even Trump is right when it comes down to saying the war needs to end. Because to me, it's like, I understand they want positioning, but come on, the only people that really getting hurt on the Ukrainian side is the citizens in the inner cities.
With live in Washington with the very latest on an overnight strike in Kyiv. Good morning, Lucas.
Good early morning, Carly and Todd. Overnight, Russia launched one of its largest missile strikes on Ukraine's capital, killing at least 9 people and wounding dozens, including children. Hours earlier in the Oval Office, President Trump appeared to criticize Ukraine for standing in the way of peace.
I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelensky, and I hope that Zelensky, I thought it might be easier to deal with Zelensky. So far, it's been harder, but that's okay.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has cut short his trip to South Africa to return home after the strikes. He said it's been over 40 days since Ukraine agreed to the Trump administration's proposal for a full ceasefire, and said this massive missile and drone strike is just the latest example of Russia showing it does not want peace.
And I gotta say it because the last time they went and they sat in the Oval Office, the entire argument was about security. Y'all call me what y'all want. Zelensky was saying, okay, we'll cease fire, but Putin has already said this 12 times. And every time he says it, he strikes again. So who do we believe? Are we going to believe that he really wants peace, or is he going to keep on doing stuff like this? Because 100 drones and 70 missiles, that's continuing a war and still pressing, moving forward. And I know a lot of you guys don't care about it, but it's like, come on now, it's going on for long enough as far as I'm concerned. I'm in the comments. I want to know what you guys got to say about it. Okay, what we got? We got Mad Hatter says there's not going to be a lot of single females in both Ukraine and Russia. Yeah, there is going to be a lot of single females in both Ukraine and Russia. Yeah, you're right about that, Mad Hatter. That was a sad truth right there, bro. Bang, that was a banger. That was crazy. Thank you, Betty. What you said, Betty? We got Do Not Take Seriously. Said, I see the conversation switch from all of the evidence. What else we got? We got Betty says Abzy. What else we got? Nope, we do. What else we got? Stormy says, no, they come from Syria, Egypt, and Lebanon. I researched it. There never was an actual country called Palestine. Okay, Stormy. Frank Vrooman says, ha, ha, ha. What else we got? We got Abzy says, what about Gaza? Aren't they people? Yep, they definitely are. We're not covering Gaza right now, and no disrespect to them. I would like to stay on topic. This way we can keep it flowing with what we got. Even though it's time to leave all of this war, all of this politician stuff, and all of that, because we got much more to cover. We got to bring it to the states now, because there's still a lot going on there, especially in It Never Rains in Southern California. See you when you get there. They haven't seen your face for a year. Can't wait till I get there. I don't know what airline, girl, but I know I won't be late, because they tell me it never rains in Southern California. Woo! That's my joint right there. I never knew that song was actually true. I'm like, does it rain in Southern California? Well, yeah. It's not raining in Southern California unless you're talking about with a bunch of memorabilia, millions of dollars worth of memorabilia at that. Because this couple was locked up and they won't let them out. They won't let them out. They was locked up for stealing all this memorabilia. They stole over $300,000 worth of memorabilia, and the police caught them. They had the nerve to steal the memorabilia in Southern California, then go to where? El Segundo to try to sell it. And guess what? Soon as they went in the store, they got locked up. And then next thing you know, what they got, y'all? Y'all know the signature. Y'all ready? Hands behind your back. Watch your head. And now they're doing this. 40 and 50 years old, feeling stupid because they got caught for trying to steal somebody's memorabilia and got caught trying to sell it. Let's go, y'all. Southern California, step to the front of the stage, because this one is for you, baby. Let's go.
New video tonight shows police tackle a suspect who they say tried to sell thousands of dollars worth of stolen sports cards at a sports memorabilia store in El Segundo. Investigators say the man and a woman who was with him had more than $500,000 in stolen sports memorabilia and played a part in a massive identity theft ring.
KTLA Sandra Mitchell live in El Segundo with more on the arrest. Sandra.
Yeah, he also had a loaded gun in his waistband. This was a wild arrest. The store behind us, it's kind of like a bank vault, actually. They've got lots of cameras, lots of motion detectors, and all of that helped police and the store's owner track down the crooks. It's a trading card thief takedown.
Get the female, get the female!
A suspected thief tackled by El Segundo police. Detectives now say he was in a stolen car with hundreds of stolen IDs, passports, meth, a loaded gun, and $500,000 worth of stolen sports memorabilia.
Expensive autograph cards, numbered cards.
224 people in the building. I will play the rest of this video, but I would like for you guys to do me a favor. All you got to do is double tap the screen to get those numbers up, get more people over here. We really would appreciate that. That's all we ask. We understand that the pockets are low. We understand that pockets is kind of touching. I got you. It's kind of, don't ask for no money. But we like to get those likes up, and that just makes more people come over here. So if you guys appreciate the content that you're looking at right now, go ahead and double tap that screen. It don't cost nothing. It's free. Come on, double tap your boy. Double tap, and let's get going, because I don't like stopping these videos.
There was a Kobe Bryant card that was autographed.
Mitchell Gutenberg is the co-owner of Bullpen Sports Headquarters. It's a leader in sports memorabilia trading, and it is a big money business.
There's a lot. I mean, there's $5, $10, $20, $30, $50,000 cards.
The thief and a female accomplice first entered the El Segundo shop in late March with tens of thousands of dollars of sports cards to sell.
They were calm. They brought the stuff. My father just passed away, and you're like, oh, okay. And he'd been collecting for years, and you're like, okay, great. Okay, we looked at stuff. We look up at comps and figure out prices to buy.
The cards were not reported stolen, so Gutenberg paid the suspects. But later, the cards were reported stolen, and Gutenberg was on alert.
Then they decided to show up again. And when they did that, we called the police.
That's when police responded, and the thief resisted, tried to run away. He had that loaded gun in his waistband, but officers took him and his female accomplice into custody. Well, we are told by the shop owner that all of that stolen merchandise will be returned to the rightful owners. By the way, both of the suspects have criminal records, and both of them are still in custody tonight.
Y'all. They got locked up. They won't let them out. They won't let them out. They got locked up. They won't let them out. No, they won't let them out. Headed up down to re-up. Back for a couple of weeks. Saw the block on fire. Mad Hatter says Primo was like uno, dos, segundo. Bam, you going to El Salvador. Jeeves says Bing chillin'. What else we got? Betty Spaghetti says there's genocides happening in many places. What else we got here? AU would love for us to stop supporting Israel. Okay, let's keep on going. Stay on topic, you guys. Thank you. Casey says, come on, everyone. Show love for the brother. Tap that damn like button. Doug Nasty says, why is Trump hiding in the Epstein list? I don't know. Good question. He says, why is he hiding the Epstein list? Anjan says, don't worry about Gaza and stop supporting Israel. You won't have problems anymore. Okay, you got that one out. Betty Spaghetti got the thumbs up. Thug Nasty said, okay, what else we got? We got Babe. Y'all want to hear about Palestine? Okay, what else we got? Come on, go ahead and tap that, says Kendra Walker. We're only talking about this. We're only talking about, you said he had a Hank Aaron jersey. Damn, he had a Hank Aaron jersey. That's crazy, Casey. I didn't even notice that. Okay, y'all, we got to come on to New York real quick, because I know y'all like to figure out what's going on in the streets of New York. Guess what? We don't have police patrol, and they're ATF. Like I told you, not alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. They're after the fact in New York. So if you get robbed or hurt or whatever like that, they come around later. Like Keystone Cops, throwing the wrong people against the wall, asking questions to the wrong people. I'm like, yo, I'm the one that called. We're like, yo, I'm the one that called y'all. That's how bad it is out here. ATF. So I guess this brother in the Bronx realized he made a mistake when he left his car running in the front of a Chinese restaurant. Another SUV pulled up. Somebody hopped out, saw the opportunity, jumped in this guy's car. Next thing you know, he runs in the front, tries to grab in the driver's seat, and they dragged him for a full block. He is now in critical condition with his head and leg injuries. Want you guys to see this. How was this able to happen? How was this man dragged for a block without police knowing? What's going on in the streets of New York? Y'all tell me. Because this is crazy.
First, we have some breaking news to tell you about. A man jumped on a car to stop a thief. The driver seriously injured. Eyewitness News reporter Zephon Kim live at the scene in the Bell and Bay section of the Bronx with the story tonight. Zephon.
Well, Bill and Liz, we are at Wilkinson and Edison Avenues here in the Bronx, but this wild chain of events started 2 blocks away. It ended here where that stolen car crashed into a number of parked vehicles. You can see one of those vehicles it crashed into as it was speeding down this street. Keep in mind, the owner of that stolen car was hanging off the driver's side door, so as he was crushed against these parked cars, he was crushed as the suspect was gunning it down Wilkinson Avenue. Let's show you some video now where this all began. Surveillance video nearby captured the victim double park his black Infiniti sedan, then exit his vehicle with the engine running. He ran into a Chinese restaurant. Then watch a second angle show the suspect pull up in an SUV. He slowly emerged from the back passenger door, then jumped into that Infiniti. Just as the suspect jumped behind the wheel and peeled off, the owner of the car realized what's happening and clung to the driver's side door as that thief sped off. Witnesses say he hung on for about 1.5 blocks to 2 blocks before that vehicle crashed here, seriously injuring him. Video from here shows him dangling as it crashed into those vehicles. This SUV that suspect emerged from appears to be following behind them. Police say it happened just before noon in front of 290 Wilkinson Avenue. The victim is in critical condition with head and leg injuries. Witnesses go on to say it appeared at one point the victim was run over by his own vehicle. They describe a very bloody scene.
Yeah, I was here. I was delivering a package.
What did you see?
Huh? I saw him laid out on the floor, and his leg was just dangling. It was horrible to see.
Did you see him hanging onto the side of the driver's side, though?
No. I came up about maybe 3 or 5 minutes later, and that's when everybody was like, "Oh, they went down the block."
I didn't personally see the victim, but the physical therapist said the victim was in a really bad state. His leg was almost off of his body, almost detached and pretty twisted up. He didn't believe that the leg was probably going to be saved, and as far as what I know, it was amputated, and the guy had a head injury, and I don't believe he was conscious at that point.
Damn.
Now, that stolen car was ditched down the street about an 8-minute walk from here. Police have made no arrests. Those suspects took off on foot. Cops say the victim left his key fob in the vehicle. Reporting live in the Pelham Bay.
Now you see what they said. They have no evidence of who it was. They're going to be on the ATF again after the fact. Oh, we going to check video. We going to see what we can get. And what? Person got his leg amputated. New York City, NYPD, you guys are batting 1,000. The wrong direction, though. In the wrong direction. What we got? Thug Nasty. What else we got? What else we got? Never leave your car on, says Junior. We only messing with the people that stick in the comments, stick in the topics right now. What else we got? Betty says, like it's just another morning. What else we got here? We got, okay, this witness is funny. Yeah, I was there. Okay, said hi. What's up, Drifty? Y'all double tap that screen if y'all appreciating the content. We've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning making this happen. Stormy says, never trust someone who believes in tequila. What else you got? You got no dog, most power in the U.S. going to the House and the Congress and the Supreme Court. Okay, good point. Jeffrey says, if they catch him, it's going to be attempted murder. Yes, because that man lost his leg. Yeah, that man lost his leg. Thank you so much, Betty. Thank you so much. We see the love. Now, y'all always like to worry about the money, and how expensive stuff is going to be in the stores, right? You're worrying about prices going up. You're worrying about tariffs. Well, how about if something even worse happened? Because major retailers are warning President Trump that if he don't stop this tariff thing, the shelves are basically going to be empty. I don't know how true this is, but that's what we're being warned by major retailers. I'm going to see if we still got this up here. Let's go. What we got? Yeah, here we go. Let's go. I want you guys to see what they're warning on right now.
Mentions of the word deal there, Faisal. What's your sense of whether one may be close?
Hi, Jane. Yeah, we've had some significant developments really in the last hour or so that may help to explain the conciliatory tone that I picked up and communicated in that report, which is that our partners CBS News are reporting that the chief executives of Walmart and Target have privately warned President Trump of empty shelves in the coming weeks if he continues with his tariff policies, and that probably particularly concerns the prohibitive tariffs both ways on US-China trade. We're hearing from the ports on the west coast of America, Los Angeles in particular, of a potential collapse in China to US cargoes, down 33% this week, potentially 44% in the first week of May. This is a serious hit to the world economy, and something that will be seen visibly in the US on shelves, if you believe the CEOs of some of America's biggest companies, or at least the reporting of what they have said privately. This is highly significant stuff, may explain, as I say, some of the reaches for deals. We think there might be a meeting between Scott Bessent, who you saw in my report, the US Treasury Secretary, and his Chinese counterpart. That meeting, if it happens, assumes incredible importance in bringing the world down from this trade war. We don't know if it happens. We don't know if the Chinese want to pick up the phone and attend that. We don't know what the conditions will be, but incredibly important meetings happening here at the IMF in DC, and not just involving the UK.
Are you looking? And I like to get news from other places, so you cannot say, "Oh, that's the radical news," the whatever. Yeah, that was some people that was basically just reporting clean and seeing what they saw and said what they seen. Let me go to these comments. I want to know if you guys are gonna stay on topic and see what you got to say about this. America First says Thug Nasty. Marcus says, of course they make threats with their profit margins are at risk. Shaking my head. What else we got here? Thug Nasty says anyone supporting their little hats should move to Israel. America first means America first. That's what Thug Nasty said, not Bugatti. Your anti-Semitism is showing. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, what else we got? We got other people in here. Betty Spaghetti says tariffs alone won't help. Wildflower says left them holding their ankles. Okay, Betty Spaghetti, and end the income tax and keep the tariffs. Then maybe we'll be okay. Okay, Betty, thank you. Wildflower, Trump decimated MAGA's anus, then went golfing. Ooh, Wildflower, that was crazy. Okay, Betty says Trump needs to get rid of these huge banks and allow thousands of small banks to open up around the country. Okay, all right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want us to be doing and talking about topics that we have that's in the clip. Because now we at the header. We're at the header where Trump says, sadly, it is time for Elon Musk to leave Doge. Sadly, Mr. Howe, I would like to leave your island. That's what he's saying, basically, because he got to get back to do what he got to do when they go down to Tesla. Want you guys to see what's going on over here with Elon, because Trump is basically saying, good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Do. Oh, y'all ain't think I knew that? Come on now, let's go.
An impact on the team, please.
Sir, thank you, sir. Elon Musk said he'll be stepping back from his work with Doge a little bit and only dedicating maybe a day or two a week to it. How long would you like to see that continue, and how involved would you like to see him continue to be after?
Well, first of all, I can't speak more highly about any individual. He's an incredible guy. He's a brilliant guy. He's a wonderful person. I've seen him with his family. I've seen him with a lot of his children. He's got a lot of children. He treats them good. He loves his children. But he's a brilliant guy, and he was a tremendous help, both in the campaign and in what he's done with Doge. And, you know, we're talking about almost $200 billion and rising fast, because many of the things that we were looking at are now being found out to be fact. It's terrible. I mean, the fraud, the waste, the abuse, everything that's happened is just terrible. So I also know that he was treated very unfairly by I guess you'd call it the public, by some of the public, not by all of it. I say he makes an incredible car, everything he does is good, but they took it out on Tesla. And I just thought it was so unfair, because he's trying to help the country. But he has helped the country. I also want him to make sure that he's going to be in great shape, and I know he is. I mean, he's going to do great. He loves the country. He didn't need to do this. He did it. And I told him, I said, you know, whenever you're ready, I'd like to keep him for a long time, but whenever you're ready, he's an exceptional guy. When you see those rockets go up and come back and land in the same gantry, nobody else can do that but this man. So he's just an incredible person, and he's a friend of mine, and he's a nice person too. He's a very nice person. He really helped the country, saved us a lot of money. And I heard him say that he'll start easing, which is always, he was always at this time going to ease out. And when he goes back to Tesla, that'll be taken care of. It was just, it's artificial. These were sick people that thought they were doing something. He's a great patriot, and he should really, it shouldn't be the way, that should never have happened to him. And I will tell you right now, he makes a great product. He makes a great product. It's a great car. It's great everything. Starlink is great. What he does is good. He's doing medical things that are amazing. And we have to, at some point, let him go and do that.
I think the next person that heads heads Doge, there shouldn't be any head, because they like to pinpoint and do things to certain people. So just keep it the way that it is, and don't have no head of it, because then they're gonna probably have somebody to aim at. When there's no head, you gotta wonder who the hell is running this thing, and just have a whole bunch of people and let Trump just be the head of it. Because when you got like Elon Musk, anybody with that sort of a position, with that title, they're going to be the one that people strike at. So it was already a forecast, and we could see what happened with Elon. I don't think that whoever comes to head Doge they shouldn't even speak about it. Same way that they're moving with ICE right now. Oh, we just got a whole bunch of people that work Doge. There is no head. How about that? I'm in the comments, y'all. I want to know what y'all got to say about this information that we just dropped. Thug Nasty said the mental gymnastic you people use to justify this stupidity. Batty Lynn says Elon laid a great foundation for Doge, and they will continue as usual. Batty Lynn dropping bombs. There you go, girl. CG said facts with an X. Thug Nasty says, you think the Bible is speaking about Europeans from Poland? Really? Haha. WWZ Podcast says it's easy to disapprove any religious beliefs. Thug Nasty, he's in here today, boy. What we got from Mark? He says, LOL, like the sociopath King Henry VIII, he disposed of every single one of his advisors, not just his wives. I know what you're trying to say. Betty Spaghetti says Trump should keep the same energy he has with Ukraine, with Israel. Ooh, Stormy says, LOL, excuses for everything. Uh-oh. Okay, the war in Ukraine is still going on. Zelensky refuses to give up regions inside of Ukraine. It's basically saying the regions were stolen from them by Russia, and the results from firing back against Zelensky for this. So what's going on right now in Ukraine is Russia's taking over a lot of land, a lot of regions, and they're saying that they'll stop the war if they let them keep those regions. Zelensky feels like they've been stolen from them, and he doesn't want to do that. That's the basic problem that they're having when it comes down to ending this war, and that's what's being said. So I want you guys to see this right here.
Prime Minister today to discuss trade and the war in Ukraine as Russia launches massive airstrikes again overnight in the country's capital of Kyiv, killing at least 8 innocent people. And yesterday, President Trump called on Ukrainian President Zelensky on Truth Social, called him out for hurting peace negotiations with his comments on Russian control of Crimea. Former NATO General Secretary, Norway's current Minister of Finance, Jens Stoltenberg, will be at that meeting today, knows all about these negotiations, and the belligerent Russian government led by Vladimir Putin joins us now. Ms. Stoltenberg, great to see you. I know you're going to be with your sleeves rolled up, working on a trade deal in the Oval. I'll get to that. Your thoughts about where we're at in London today with these peace talks?
Brian, first of all, it's good to see you again. The peace talks in London are, of course, very important because it is an effort to try to find a peaceful solution to the brutal war in Ukraine. We all want this war to end, and the US, of course, wants the war to end. At the same time, we all know that the quickest way of ending a war is to lose a war. That will not bring peace, that will bring occupation. So we need to convince President Putin that he will not win on the battlefield, and that he has to sit down and accept a lasting and just peace. And the only way to get there is to provide support to Ukraine so they can, the stronger they are on the battlefield, the stronger they will be at the negotiating table.
So we understand that.
I don't think he thinks he's losing. I think he's winning, and I don't think you know what you're talking about, homeboy, because it seems to me like I know both sides are losing a lot of people. But the way that this war is going, and they're constantly taking over more space in their country, I gotta just call it what it is. Russia is slowly but surely taking over this war. But Ukraine, again, just don't want to let go of the spaces that they've already ascertained. We're gonna go to one that sounds like a war in Florida. Oh yeah, I'm talking about they was letting off in Florida. Boom, 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 boom. There was what sounded like a little war going on in South Miami-Dade when 3 people was injured and allegedly pow, shooter opened fire in the dealership. Check this out. I don't know if you guys know about this dealership situation. We're all over the place. Yes, we're everywhere. Miami, Florida, Detroit. We go everywhere. So don't even ask. If it's news there, we going.
Southwest Miami-Dade, where a shooting broke out at a used car dealership. Chopper 4 over the scene as dozens were evacuated from the area. At least one person has been confirmed dead by a family member. And tonight, we're hearing the moment gunfire broke out.
Right there, you can hear 7 gunshots ringing out. This cell phone video is taken by someone at a nearby business.
And here's what we know so far. This happened at Priced Right Motors on Southwest 45th Street and 74th Avenue in Miami-Dade. 3 people were shot, including the gunman. They were all taken to HCA Florida Kendall Hospital. One of the victims died, according to family members, and the other remains in critical condition, as well as the gunman. Police say there is no imminent threat to the public. Good evening, I'm Elliot Rodriguez.
And I'm Naja Sherman. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, no imminent threat to the public because they basically got them all. That's basically what happened. They had some gunfire back and forth, but Miami, Florida, whoo, y'all heard that? Doo-doo-doom, doo-doo-doom. Sound like they was hitting with some military style weapons right there. What y'all got to say? I'm in the comments. Probably over money and stress. That's what Angels Among Us says. What you got right here? Betty Spaghetti says most people were slaves at one point. What else we got? Kendra says, what's up at Adrian? Mike says, I'm more a slave of the Muslim caliphate than 800K. What we got here? Jesus says, imagine if everyone loved each other. No homo. Yeah, real talk. Imagine that. It's okay to feel like that. You cool. I like that. Tesla dealer? I don't know, Bill. I don't know if it was a Tesla dealership, but that was crazy. Why don't you look at the whatever. What else we got? Mike says, okay, so you're full of, okay, what else we got? Wait a minute, what you said, Mike? Okay, so you're full of it. Thought so. Nice and quick. Thanks. I don't know what you're talking about. That don't make no sense. Italians have more in them. Okay, y'all, really not staying on topic, so it's time to move forward on this next story because it's another banger. A family and friends, about 28 bystanders, were shot and killed in the Bronx. Oh, man. 28-year-old man in the Bronx was going to see one of his friends. He was about to approach his vehicle. As he approached his vehicle, somebody rang out with 3 shots. 2 people got shot. This man took a bullet to the head, and he's no longer with us. Again, there's no police in the Bronx. It's the second story I'm showing you today. They don't patrol in the Bronx, so if you're in the Bronx, just be careful and always have your head on the swivel. The second place to be careful is in Brooklyn. I'm telling you guys, I'm not a hater. I'm just telling you where there's the least amount of police. Check this out. This man is 28 years old. All he was doing was going to visit one of his friends, and now he's no longer with us. The very sad story, and his father took it the worst out of everybody. This is really terrible. Really bad story right here.
To search for the gunman in 2 separate days.
Shut up.
Well, the NYPD continued to search for the gunman in 2 separate deadly shootings this week that claimed the lives of innocent bystanders. We told you yesterday about 61-year-old Xenia Matei. She was shot and killed Tuesday night in Harlem. And then in the Bronx yesterday, 28-year-old Daoud Marji was shot and killed when several gunmen opened fire on a crowd in the Kingsbridge Heights section. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlos spoke with Dowd's family. He's live at the scene with the very latest. Anthony.
Liz, that's 3 innocent bystanders in total hit by gunfire in New York City in just the past couple of days. 2 of them right here on University Avenue, a very busy block in the Bronx. The family of Daoud Marji is heartbroken, obviously, but they were so proud of him. They say he was the jack of all trades. He taught himself electrical work, plumbing. They say he was a man of faith and a man of family. One big family, now at a total loss. 28-year-old Dawood Marji was born in Jordan but raised in Yonkers, New York. His father brought him here for a good education, not to lose his life, simply walking down the street.
I miss everything. He's my blood, bro. He's I'm a strong man, but still, I'm shocked. But then I have to take care of my family. My wife, she's already gone.
Dawood was visiting a friend in the Bronx, his father says. Police sources say the 28-year-old was walking to his car near University Avenue and West Kingsbridge Road just before 5 o'clock Wednesday evening when someone in a group opened fire in his direction, striking him in the head.
For me, I always saw him as a bigger brother.
Paul Margia, the victim's second cousin, is currently in the police academy, preparing to rid the streets of brazen criminals and the very thing that ended up taking his cousin's life.
Of all people, the fact that it was him, a stray bullet, it's kind of crazy to think about, but it's really sad to hear.
Police say Dawood was not the only innocent bystander hit when the gunfire erupted. A 33-year-old woman just finished working at a nearby construction site was on her way to the subway when she realized she also had been grazed by a bullet in the hip. The double shooting in the Bronx follows the deadly shooting of a beloved community matriarch killed in the crossfire in Harlem Tuesday night. The shock and the anger for Dawood's family is still setting in.
Not a bad bone in his body. It's a great loss to our community. Always the most kindest individual we've ever known.
And Dawood, we're told, will be buried next to his grandfather at a Greek Orthodox monastery upstate. Right now, police are looking for the shooter and 3 other suspects in this shooting here on University Avenue. Dawood's cousin says this only motivates him more to make it out of the police academy and get right to work.
Another after the fact situation. And I hate to keep on saying this. I do not want to be the one to keep saying it. After the fact. Oh, the police are still looking for him. We're investigating. Because why? There's no patrol on the streets. Call me what you want. Oh, you're a punk because you're calling for the cops to be on the streets. Blam, blam, blam. But when you got people out there that's just acting like it's the OK Corral coming outside like Yosemite Blam, yeah, I want some law and order. Yeah, because I don't want to get caught by a stray minding my business going to the train station or going to my car. Real talk. I want to know what you guys got to say about this. It's crazy out here. It's bananas in this city, especially the Bronx. What else we got? What we got? Marielle says many times the police do not even respond to calls. There you go. CB says absolutely. What we got? Seriously, says Betty. What we got here? Mad Hatter, wrong colors, wrong neighborhood. Thugs want to be hard, but they won't jump in the cage with another man. How about that, Mad Hatter? How about that? Betty says because they aren't investigating anything. That's right, because you know what? It's too many things going on, and we don't have the manpower. Do y'all remember how this month we've been talking about the manpower in the police? How everybody's quitting? All of the police officers are going to other states because they can't continue to get rank here. That's how you get more money being a police officer. You make a collar, you make a certain amount of collars, you take a test, and now you can move to the next place, next position and make more money, right? Not when you make that collar, and before you can finish the paperwork, that person is out of jail. You getting less collars. So you know what most police saying? Hell with New York, we going to Miami, red states, and other places where we can get our collars and move forward. So we get the bad police, we get all of the good police that's leaving, and now we got 17-year-old looking like 17-year-olds, thinner than one of my arms on this is their thigh and their whole leg right here. One of the police officers that outside right now. This how thin their legs are, how small they look, and they be on their phone like this. And they got the smallest hat that they can get assigned, but they can't even fit it because they're so damn small. Who the hell are they going to protect? Who they going to lock up? Who they going to help? I'm in the comments, y'all. I'm back in the comments. What's going on? Marcus says, gangsters paradise and the police aren't even attempting to do nothing. There you go. Stormy, what's the worst borough in New York City? To me, y'all going to beat me up for this. I'm going to say for crime, There's two of them that's tied right now. Brooklyn and the Bronx. And y'all can weigh it out any way that you want. Either or. Don't sleep. It's not a joke in Brooklyn. Okay, what else y'all got? Jeremiah says, and my brother swears up and down that New York City is safe. Jeremiah, he is bugging. Bugging. I seen a video the other day where a dude was walking and a lady was coming and he just like went at her and tried to hit her with something. After that, I saw another lady walking up the street. There was a lady pushing a stroller. She spat right in the lady's face and kept on walking. There's a lot of mentally ill people on the streets of New York. Police are not there to do anything about it. EMS, every man for himself. You guys need to get body armor. I was selling it before on my website and people was laughing. Yo, this dude's selling body armor. Yeah, because if somebody poke you, at least you got something more under your clothes to protect you. It's real out here. Same way when I made up something called the sub glove. Everybody was laughing at me. 1 year later, COVID hit. And I'm like, yo, what about that sub glove? Yo, you could have made $1 million off of that. Yeah. That's why I don't listen to nobody no more. Keep on going. We're in the comments. Steve says, do you have any idea how insane you are? Well, while you're here, Steve, how about this? Bang! Out of here. All right? That was a fun one. Okay, oh my gosh, says Angels Among Us. What we got? We got Sarah that says, my mom's is from Brooklyn. She says it's not the same there anymore. Thank your mother for telling the truth. And the fact that she knows means that she's paying attention. That's right. Don't listen to these people, Brooklyn in the house. Yo, Brooklyn this, Brooklyn that. Half them people that scream in Brooklyn, what start with them is ignorance. I'm sorry. And probably only been to one borough and think that everything is popping in Brooklyn. Stay your ass out of Brooklyn. Y'all from Brooklyn, y'all got a problem with me. It is what it is. But I don't come over there. And when I do, I try to wear the bummiest stuff that I got. I won't even wear this. You don't want to even be in the radar. You want to look toe up from the flow up and get up out of there before the sun go down. It's real. Okay, what else you got? My mom's is, okay, what else we got? I know what I'm talking about. I don't even go there no more. MAGA country. Casey says BC. Okay, BC, I don't know what that means. Their belts are heavier than they are. What else we got? Mad Hatter just described the Chinese woman. Elmai says Democrat states law and order. Okay, Kitty Cat. What we got? Okay, you got a whack one. Angels is dying laughing. Okay, preach. That's right. That's what we up in here doing. We dropping bombs today. Stormy says, yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What Casey said? Yeah, no shines at all. Yeah, you take all that off. You want to look busted and disgusted when you go, especially if you're taking a train. How about this? Little Kim said it best. And if y'all don't know the song, it's called, I forgot the name of it, but because she was like, I come from Bed-Stuy, when motherfuckers do or they don't die, better have the ratchet close by, niggas will get at you, come through. What? I'm serious. She said, better have a pass when you cross that bridge. Welcome to Brooklyn. What? It's not a game. Call me what you want. And yes, that's what we do over here at Our Bottom Line, you guys. I want you to know that there's a lot of money for you guys to make. Money. There's about $500 today inside of the description. Go and fill out a survey so that you can make some money. And every survey you make money off of, I make $25 too. Also, if you got a business, you're trying to promote something, send over your promotional flyers to bridgethisllc@gmail.com. We're going to put it up in the post section, especially if you've been here this long. That means that you are a member no matter what. Go ahead and give me a shot and double tap that screen right there to let everybody know before we get up out of here. Also, I want y'all to know that I'm still giving y'all some bread too. And today I go have the conversation with the distributor. Because what are we about to do? We're about to do Show Your Talent show. That's when I find talent all over the 5 boroughs. I'm going to have to go to Brooklyn, y'all, but I'm staying in a liquor store for this one. So this is how it's going to go down. Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island. You're gonna come out, you're gonna show me your talent. I'm gonna show you guys where to meet up at. I'm gonna give you $250 in cash if you got the best talent of everybody that's there. Then we're gonna go to Bronx and do the same thing. Yeah, we're gonna thug it out and go to Manhattan and do the same thing. And once we finish everybody and get all of our finalists, we're gonna come to one location where the last winner can win up to $1,000 in cash. That's right, $1,000. You show me your talent, I don't care what it is. Singing, dancing, cooking, working out, backflips. I don't care what it is. I want you to come to the location. Go onto the website right now, Big Drip, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Send me an email, sign up for the talent show so that you could have a chance to make up to $1,250 at the Show Your Talent show. Once we do it in New York, we're gonna replicate it in all other states, and I'm gonna be stopping through so that you in the comments can come and hang out and then get to know each other, because I'm gonna be in the field. I'm hosting the events. So hopefully you guys can come out and we're gonna have a fantastic time at the Show Your Talent show, starting in New York next week. I'm sorry, in 2 weeks. That's what we're doing. Can't wait to meet you. Can't wait to see the talent, and it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have DJ. We're gonna be giving away drinks. Got to be 21 and older. But yes, go to the website www.drinkbigdrip.com and go ahead and sign up by sending me an email. That's 2 G's and 2 P's. Guess I like doubles. Took the carbonation out because we ain't cutting for the bubbles. There's no carbonation. You drink that grape straight down. Got to be 21 and older. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, like we always do, what do I always say? Before we get up out of here, don't worry about problems, because God woke us up today. Problems present opportunity. Don't look at the problem as a problem. Look at the problem for the answer. You already got half the answer right there. Don't dwell in negativity. Smile for no reason, because you control your destiny. That's right, y'all. I want you guys to have a fantastic day. Get out there. Get some air in your lungs, drink some water so I can see you tomorrow at the same time, because that's what we do. We are the #1 show between the 6 o'clock hour and until. I just want you guys to know that, because I can't do this without you. This is our show. Me and the co-host. I can't do it without you. So until tomorrow, y'all already know what it is. This is your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, y'all know what it is. Get 'em! 1. Peace.